This is the Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristan Law, semi-retired pro wrestler, and today I'm your host. WrestleMania 41 is amongst us, but you know what happens when the bloodline crumbles, but the world still isn't ready to crown Jey Uso. What if Tiffany Stratton isn't just the future, but the one person that Charlotte Flair can't beat? And what if CM Punk, after finally getting that main event spot, he doesn't walk out of WrestleMania at all? Look, all I'm going to say right now is if you know, you know. But look, WrestleMania 41, night one is packed with a lot of questions that can reshape WWE forever. And I've got 4 matches you need to pay attention this weekend that are going to define the weekend. And let's start with that match that I think is going to steal the whole damn show. No, it's not the match that you really think I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is LA Knight. LA Knight, he has the people behind him, but what happens when the people, the fans in attendance can't save you from a big bad monster like Jacob Fatu? Let's talk about the stars, the megastars' biggest test yet. So LA Knight beats Shinsuke Nakamura for the US Championship, right? And then Jacob Fatu, in a brutal number 1 contender, last man standing match, puts himself right in front of LA Knight. Look, the themes going into this match, right? Because every match has a story. The themes that I see going into this match is that Jacob Fatu, he's not just an unstoppable force. He is terrifying. If I walk down the block and I saw Jacob Fatu, I might turn around and go the other way. I'm not going to lie. Especially when he's walking around and he's spitting and doing all that other nasty stuff. I'm not messing with Jacob Fatu because there's something wrong with him. I ain't playing with him. But LA Knight, the story in here is that he's the people's champion. He's the champion for the people. The people love him. But look, I'm going to say something right now that might just make you feel a certain kind of way. And look, man, just ride with me for a little bit, okay? Because I'm going to make some sense here for you. LA Knight is more interesting when he doesn't have a championship. Oh, yeah. Don't tell me, look, you might disagree that I'm wrong. But listen to me, hear me out. I think, in my opinion, my professional opinion, because, you know, Tristan Law, some retired pro wrestler, and your host of the Tristan Law Show, Cody Rhodes has had the same exact problem that LA Knight has. When Cody Rhodes chased for the championship going into WrestleMania 41, yo, he was the man. Everybody was like, oh, we can't wait for Cody Rhodes to finish his story. And then he finished his story, and what? The only person that put Cody Rhodes in danger in the past 12 months, not including The Rock or not including John Cena. I'm talking about only one person, that's Kevin Owens, in a year that's put Cody Rhodes into any kind of danger. For LA Knight, nobody's really put him in danger until Jacob Fatu. I think in order for me to feel like LA Knight's a little bit more interesting, I think that LA Knight needs to be put into some more, his character needs to be put into some more unfair advantages. Yes, look, we know that pro wrestling is what pro wrestling is, right? But what I'm doing is I'm talking to you a little bit behind the scenes and just saying how I think that how it should work with my mind. If LA Knight is put into some more unfair advantages where it's like, man, when you kind of doubt what's going on, I think that LA Knight would become, you know, above the moon. Because right now, you know, LA Knight's a good wrestler, and he could definitely talk as good as he can walk. But Jacob Fatu has to be that person that puts him in an unfair advantage. Can LA Knight overcome somebody like Fatu? Look, man, I don't know. But LA Knight's LA Knight could shift it into that 6th gear, break off the handle, just in case he needs to against Jacob Fatu. But you know what? Jacob Fatu, let's not talk about Jacob Fatu. LA Knight, he needs this match. He needs this win. If he doesn't get this win, it's like, what's next? Here's how we're going to predict this whole entire thing. Who walks out with the gold? Don't kill me. It's just my opinion. I want to hear from you who you think is going to walk out with the gold between Jacob Fatu and LA Knight. Tell me in the comments right now. I'm going to read it live right now on the air. That's one of the perks of being live with us here on the Tristan Law Show. Who walks out with the gold? I think it's Jacob Fatu. Because remember, listen, there's a rift in the bloodline. Don't let me sway your opinion. I want you to put your own entire opinion in there. Just listen to me. Don't let me sway you. Because what we're going to do is we're going to come back on Sunday morning, and we're going to talk about night one. And I'm going to do another live show. Here's how the week looks for me so far. So we got this today. We're talking about night one. On Friday, we're going to talk about night two. We're going to do a preview and prediction for that. On Sunday morning, we're going to recap night one. On Monday morning, we're going to recap night two. On Tuesday, we're going to talk about the Raw after Mania. And then you know what? I think I might go on vacation after that. I don't know. But look, I think that Jacob Fatu wins because there's a rift in the bloodline. And Jacob Fatu is going to leave WrestleMania with a championship. And what happens to Solo Sikoa? That spike thumb that he's got, he's just going to put it in his ass and he's going to walk out of WrestleMania. Sorry, I know it's 10 o'clock. I can't be cussing. I apologize. But does this become a series of matches between LA Knight and Jacob Fatu? I think it should be. I think that what should happen is that it becomes a series of matches and eventually Solo Sikoa does something to have Jacob Fatu lose that belt to LA Knight, and then Jacob Fatu goes bye-bye. And then LA Knight, he's finally conquered the beast and he can move on and go from there. But now let's talk, that's my opinion. Now let's talk about a match that's dripping in gold, glitter, and pressure. Charlotte Flair, she's chasing number 15. But what if this is the moment she gets passed by? Tiffany Stratton, look, Tiffany Stratton isn't just pretty. She's dangerous, and Tiffany Stratton, she's got the title to prove it. Let's take a look at Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. So here's the history, right? The storyline build for the Women's Championship. So Tiffany Stratton cashes in the Money in the Bank on Nia Jax, right? And then Charlotte returns to the Royal Rumble, and then Charlotte Flair decides, and she wins the Royal Rumble, and then Charlotte Flair decides, well, am I going to look at Rhea, and I'm going to look at Julia? No. She decided that she was going to look at Tiffany Stratton. But here's the thing, though, right? I mentioned Nia Jax, right? Tiffany Jax is a cousin to Tiffany Stratton, married into the Jax family. Just follow me. But where is Nia Jax? If anybody is seeing Nia Jax, please let Triple H know. If found, please contact Triple H at the WWE HQ at the headquarters. Nia Jax was last seen March 1st, 2025 in Toronto, Canada, in the area of the Rogers Center. So if you've seen Nia Jax, please let Triple H know because I don't know where she's been. It's March. We haven't seen her in March. We haven't seen her all up to the building WrestleMania. Where is the girl? Let me put this up there again because we are looking for Nia Jax. If anybody out there in the world of the internet has seen Nia Jax, please contact Triple H at WWE HQ. The last time we've seen Nia Jax was March 1st in Toronto, Canada, in the area of the Rogers Center. Maybe Nia Jax is still stuck in Canada somewhere. Maybe she couldn't get back. Maybe they stopped her at the border. Look, Nia, if you're out there, subscribe. You know, and if you're watching this right now, go ahead, subscribe. Hit that like button. Do something so that I know that you're out there. Nia, we're looking for you. Here's the themes going into that Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair match. It's a generational clash. It's the queen versus the center of the universe. Is Tiffany ready for the spotlight? And Charlotte, she's chasing her 15th title. These are the questions that you ask yourself going into this match. It's the story that's going in there. Look, Tiffany, she's had a rise in less than 2 years. They put the rocket to her back and just sent her straight to the moon. She's gone. Could Charlotte be choosing Tiffany Stratton, or could it be a little mind game thing? I did put up a poll as well, too, asking if you're excited for WrestleMania. Yes or no? Simple, yes or no. I gave you two choices, yes or no. Do you want salt or do you want pepper? Go ahead and put that in there because at the end, I want to ask you again. If you type it in, at the end, I want to ask you, what do you think? Has it changed? Let me tell you how I think that match is going to go. Charlotte's going to underestimate Tiffany. Charlotte Flair didn't pick Tiffany because, Tiffany would just stand there with the belt that she wanted. Because, look, they're counting all of Charlotte's World Women's Championships, the NXT Championship, the Raw, SmackDown Divas. They're counting all those championships. So Charlotte could have definitely went for the lowest hanging fruit. She could have picked Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair. But Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley are 1-1 at WrestleMania. The only person that Charlotte Flair can't beat at WrestleMania when it comes to Rhea Ripley is a blonde-haired Rhea Ripley. When Rhea Ripley got the black hair and the spikes, you can't touch Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is a whole different beast than she was at WrestleMania 36. Rhea Ripley gives Charlotte a run for her money. But Charlotte doesn't want the NXT Championship. That's definitely the lowest hanging fruit. And I don't think that she'll do that again. In this match between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, this has nothing to do with respect. Let me tell you what I see it as. Charlotte is a predator, and she sees Tiffany Stratton as a Vic. Yeah, you can easily just walk into NXT, take the championship, and walk out. Goodbye, see ya, sayonara. But you know what? She wants to beat somebody who thinks that she's at the top of the WWE. Tiffy time! Walking around thinking that she is the best. But you know what? You got the queen standing across the ring from you. And what I like what WWE is doing right now is that they're blending. It's a blend. It's a hodgepodge. It's a juxtaposition of what's real and what's entertainment. And everybody out there is running around trying to figure out what's real and what's a shoot and what's a work, what's real and what's entertainment. And y'all just missing the whole entire thing of what's going in here. But listen, let me ask you a question. Whether you're watching this live or on demand, put it in the chat. Does a win here elevate Tiffany Stratton's elite status? I'm going to tell you what I think. Tiffany will elevate because she beat the final boss of the women's division. Look, I don't care what you think. Just listen to me. I did an episode, the last episode, and I would suggest that you check that out once you're done with this. In that episode, I talked about, is Charlotte really a Nepo baby? And at the end, we agreed that Charlotte is a Nepo baby, but I go in there and I prove Charlotte's case of why Charlotte is really the best. Who's better than Charlotte Flair right now in the WWE women's roster? I'll wait. I wish I had a Jeopardy thing. I'll wait. I don't think anybody's better than Charlotte Flair right now in the women's roster. There are people that stand up there with her, but Charlotte, her head is just at least 1 inch taller than all of theirs. So the question that I'm asking you right now is do you think that Charlotte Flair is the final boss of the women's division? Look, when I predict this whole entire thing out, who needs to win more? Let's predict this whole thing out. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the championship at WrestleMania 41 Night 1. Charlotte Flair needs the 15th championship personally. But Tiffany needs to retain and beat Charlotte for her career. If Charlotte wins, Tiffany is just another person that she stepped on to become the champion, to get another accolade, to get another notch in her belt. But if Tiffany wins, it's going to be a defining moment for her career. It's going to be her Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. It's going to be Shawn Michaels beating Bret Hart for the championship at WrestleMania 10? Was that WrestleMania 10? No, WrestleMania 10, he was in a ladder match. Whatever WrestleMania it was, somebody tell me in the comments. I don't know, I forget. I used to wrestle, I got hit in the head. Oh, I got a new series coming out. It's called the Pro Wrestling Scorecard. It's going to be dropping at Wednesday at 6 p.m. I told you I got a lot of content coming out for you this week. It's going to be a weekly series that comes out every Wednesday at 6 p.m. And what I'm doing is I'm taking wrestlers and I'm looking at the whole entire career, but I want you to be a part of the conversation. The episodes aren't long. They're probably like 3 to 4 minutes long. And what we do is we rate each wrestler on different categories. We look at their mic work. We look at their in-ring ability, their legacy, and everything else. And then we give them a score out of 10. I think you're going to like that. So make sure you stick around for that. But how does this whole entire match reshape Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair? How does it reshape the entire women's division, it puts if Tiffany wins, it puts Charlotte Flair a notch behind Tiffany. Maybe Nia Jax gets found, and Nia Jax seeks Tiffany because they still have an unresolved beef. Once again, we're looking for Nia Jax paging Nia Jax, Nia Jax, where are you? If you find Nia Jax, please let her know that we are looking for her. But you know what? I think maybe Nia Jax, we're not talking about where Nia Jax really is or what she's doing. What we're doing right now is that we're thinking within the storyline. Sometimes I jump into the storylines and only look at it as a storyline, and sometimes I jump out and look at it as a wrestler. We got Ace checking in the chat. What's going on, Ace? Ace says that she is the final boss. He's talking about Charlotte Flair. Yeah, I agree. 100% the final boss. Thank you so much for your comment. I think that Charlotte Flair definitely is the final boss 100% because, like, who is heads and shoulders above her? Okay, so now things are going to get a little bit chaotic here. There's 3 men, 1 ring, no alliances. What happens when the tribal chief, the second city saint, and the visionary all want to be the main character of the show? There's a triple threat match that is happening at WrestleMania that could change WWE forever. Listen to me. Right now, I'm talking about Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. Here's the quick build, in case you forgot. CM Punk eliminates both men at the Royal Rumble. Boop, you're gone. Boop, you're gone. Hey, I did it. Rollins snaps and attacks CM Punk and Reigns. Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps talking about pro wrestling. I love this damn thing. Look, sometimes I think, right? I was thinking the other day that I think that my claim to fame in life is that, yeah, I did indie wrestling, and I think I was pretty good. I got trained by a lot of good people, Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, Nunzio, and a bunch of other people I got trained by. And I feel like, maybe my goal wasn't to go to WWE. I know I could have went to the WWE. I didn't have any confidence in myself. But maybe my goal in life is to sit here and talk to you passionately about something because my unfair advantage is that I did it. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. And I just get goosebumps. I love pro wrestling so much. Pro wrestling has made me laugh. It has made me cry. And it has made me feel all kinds of emotion. And the emotion I'm feeling right now is excitement. I am so excited for WrestleMania. And the reason why I'm excited for WrestleMania is because I get to create all this content for you. And I think the other reason that I'm excited for WrestleMania as well, too, is that as I sat together and put this whole entire thing together, I started feeling the excitement. So I hope that while you're watching this, you're feeling the excitement inside of you as well, too. So there was a steel cage match at Madison Square Garden. In the best city in the world, and they named it twice, New York, New York. It turns into chaos, and then Roman Reigns pops up like a pimple and beats the brakes off of both of them. But then there's another thing inside the storyline. Paul Heyman owes CM Punk a favor. But Paul Heyman also has a loyalty to Roman Reigns. But now, last night on Raw, if you missed it, I'm not going to spoil anything on Raw. In case you missed it, all I'm going to say is that Seth Rollins is saying that Paul Heyman now owes him a favor because Seth Rollins was going to curb stomp Paul Heyman, but didn't. So look, in this match, now that I caught you up, here are the themes in this match. Here's the story. Here is the underlying story in this match that you might be missing. When I'm telling you this, I want you to go back and watch this whole entire episode again. And I want you to look for the themes. What I'm going to do, I know we put chapters on every episode, and I'm going to go back and I want to do the themes. I want that when you're watching night one and these matches that I'm talking about pop up, I want you to go back and look at the themes and see the story. I think you're going to be able to enjoy this so much more once you see the story, once you feel the story. So you got 3 eras clashing. The Shield of Legacy, CM Punk's redemption, and the dominance of the tribal chief. Acknowledge him. Damn, I'm getting goosebumps again. Shit. CM Punk is the chaos agent, right? CM Punk is just like a grenade. You throw CM Punk into a room and walk out, and let's watch all kinds of mayhem come out. Seth Rollins, he is the emotional wild card. Seth Rollins is just playing everybody. And Roman Reigns, he's the cold, calculating final boss. When you are looking at this match, the reason why this match is so damn good is because there isn't a championship on the line. I was so upset that this match is the main event of night one. In case you didn't know, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
It's the main event of night one. But you know what? I'm going to talk about the main event of night one in just a little bit. Let's get through this. There's no championship on the line for CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. But there is something on the line. It's Paul Heyman's loyalty. If you didn't see it, I just told you. I just told you if you didn't see it. Oh, yo, we got a new subscriber. New subscriber. Thank you so much for joining the Tristan Law Show. Look, we are building a community here. We're building a community. 326 subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. So there's no championship in this CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns match. Paul Heyman's loyalty is on the line. But it's not a championship that is an inanimate object that you're going to take from one person and give to the other person. This thing that is on the line is able to make its own decision. Punk, Rollins, Reigns. Who is Heyman aligned with? Here's some things to look at. Is Roman Reigns still the guy after being out of the spotlight? The closest that Roman Reigns has been to a belt in the past year is the one in his pants. Does CM Punk win his first WrestleMania match? Golly, that's something for you to think about, right? Look, I'm going to drop a fact on you right now because I like dropping facts because I'm a history guy. I'm a nerd. I like going to the museum. I watch a lot of wrestling on YouTube, right? Even though I got a full-time job, which is why I gotta do these lives at 10:30 in the morning versus 12 o'clock because, work wants me to work early. But the last time CM Punk was in a triple threat match on a pay-per-view, 2 out of the 3 people in that match that he's in now helped him win. It was the Shield that interfered and helped CM Punk win. And now CM Punk, he's on his own. But who does Paul Heyman align with? Maybe Paul Heyman has some kind of mental complex where although Roman put hands on him, he's still loyal to Roman Reigns? If that's the case, Paul Heyman, listen to me. I suggest that you go sit on the leather couch and sort out your issues. Look, it's okay if you're a man, and we all taught to be big macho men, but but go sit on the couch and go sort out your issues. Okay? Still to come, we're going to be talking about Jey Uso. Still to come. CM Punk, though. CM Punk, having Paul Heyman align with him, I'm just going to be honest with you. That's the easy answer. That's the 100% easy answer. And WWE is no longer in the business of giving us easy and unpredictable anymore. Look, I watched a pay-per-view event before, right? And I remember a couple months ago, sorry, PLE, I use the right words when we're talking about WWE. I watched the PLE a couple months ago, and I was like, damn, they let every title change hands almost? That's not something that you do in pro wrestling. But Triple H, the way that he thinks, look, Triple H was on an interview. I listened to the interview yesterday. It was a clip of the interview. And he was talking about, Triple H was like, normally in pro wrestling, right, the way that you do it is that you kind of try to send the fans home happy. You can't have all the heels win, because when all the heels win, everybody goes home unhappy. And then Triple H is like, it's pro wrestling. It'll be okay. It'll be okay, because even though all the heels win, you still come back next time you want to watch. So it's a little different. So WWE is not giving us easy and unpredictable anymore. What WWE is giving us is they're giving you, like, look, John Cena. I'm the only person that predicted that John Cena or thought that John Cena would turn heel. You think I'm lying? Go look at threads. Go look at my threads, because I don't do X. Go look at threads right here. The Real Big Tris. Go look at that on Threads, and you can hit subscribe there as well, too. I put that there, and everybody thought that I was crazy. And I'm telling you right now that CM Punk is the easy answer, and WWE is no longer in the business of giving us the easy answer anymore. I think that Paul Heyman sides with Seth Rollins. Heyman has stood in Punk's corner, and he stood in Roman's corner. But he hasn't sided with Seth Rollins. Maybe I'm wrong. But let's say I'm not wrong. We're gonna go with it still. CM Punk is the new shiny toy that Paul Heyman hasn't gotten a chance to play with yet. Look, Roman Reigns is a person that wants to abuse Paul Heyman. Instead of letting Paul Heyman stand next to him, he puts Paul Heyman behind him. CM Punk is unpredictable. You can't predict what CM Punk is going to do, so maybe he's not the person that Paul Heyman wants to be aligned with. And then you're looking at Seth Rollins, the person that could have assaulted Paul Heyman the same exact way that Roman Reigns did, but he didn't. The same exact person who you think would be predictable, or would be unpredictable. Like, oh yeah, he's definitely going to do it, but he didn't do it, like CM Punk. I think that Paul Heyman is going to side with Seth Rollins, and that Seth Rollins is going to, well, he could possibly turn heel. Because in this match, Rollins, Punk, Reigns, there's not really a heel in this match, right? Seth Rollins is just like the crazy guy pressing everybody's buttons. CM Punk is the bona fide babyface in here, right? And then Roman Reigns, he's just the guy. He's just in there for his respect because he's the tribal chief. But Seth Rollins is really annoying. It's really annoying. Comes out, does the whole dancing thing, and everybody cheers him. He's going to come out with Paul Heyman. And that's going to make everybody turn on Seth Rollins. Tell me what you think. Got a message from AB. Heyman and Rollins are aligning for sure, in my opinion. Thank you so much for your comment. Let me tell you something about your opinion, okay? Your opinion here is welcomed on the Tristan Law Show. It's not one way what we do here. It's two way. That's why I do live, because I want you to talk. I want to give you a space. I don't want you to have to call, and maybe future in down the line we can do those things, but I don't want you to feel like your opinion doesn't matter or your voice is not heard. You're going on a show that a lot of people watch on YouTube, and it's growing, and it's growing, and it's growing, and I want you to feel like you're a part of this. Oh, and if everybody wants a Tristan Law Show, check out the link in the bio. We got some merch. Check out the merch. Sorry, let me put myself back together. Seth Rollins turns heel because Paul Heyman joins him. People are going to boo him and Heyman. Punk, let me tell you why people are going to boo him. Because CM Punk had his first main event, and his good friend Paul Heyman took that away from him. And that's going to be the main event for night one. But now that we talked about the main event of night one, let's talk about the main event of your emotions. It's not going to be the main event of the night, but it's going to be the main event of your emotions. So look, Jey Uso won the Rumble. The crowd just loves Jey Uso, right? Day one, yeet, yeet, yeet. But can he finish the story? Or will Gunther just become the dream crusher to the growing list of Jey Uso's dreams? This isn't a match that's going to be happening. This match is going to be the moment that we'll be talking. Hey, we got a new subscriber. I think it's AB. AB says appreciate it, brother. Officially part of the journey now. Bro, I'm building a whole community here. A whole community. I can't wait until the day that I quit my job and we can sit here and talk about this all damn day long, because you know what? I love pro wrestling. And the reason why I love pro wrestling is because it's universal. No matter what language, me as a wrestler, when I wrestle with people in the ring, no matter what language you spoke, no matter your level of education in school or your background or who you voted for in any election, there's only one thing that always united us, pro wrestling. And it happens amongst fans. And I'm here to unite everybody and have a great damn time. So let's take a look at this match. I might break some hearts here, but I need you to follow me till the end of this one, because I'm going to convince you of something. I'm going to break your heart, and I'm going to love you and convince you again. Just listen. So here's the storyline build so far. Jey Uso wins the Rumble. Gunther attacks him on Raw, and Jey chooses Gunther as an opponent. I did an episode about that as well, too. You can look for that, too, so you can watch that. I go really into depth into this whole entire thing about who was going to be chosen. And Gunther chose Jey for the same exact reason that Tiffany Stratton got chosen by Charlotte, except this was the other way around. Gunther said, you know what? I want you to come for me, because Jey Uso's never beaten Gunther. Never. Here are the themes in this match. Jey Uso's never beaten Gunther. Remember, I'm going to bookmark these themes so that when WrestleMania Night 1 happens, I want you to go back and look at these matches. And I want you to say, oh, okay, cool. This is what we got going on. Because what's happening is that I want you to see the story. I want you to feel the story so that you can enjoy WrestleMania just a little bit more. Yeet movement versus the ring general discipline. That's something that's a story that's in there. Can Jey Uso finally stand tall as a singles competitor? Yeah, he's had the Intercontinental Championship. That's nice. When we're all kids, right? If we grew up in the 90s and the 80s, what we really wanted was the championship. The WWE Championship. Intercontinental Championship was nice because it was the workhorse champion, but we want the big championship. Can Jey Uso finally stand tall as a competitor? And can and the other story that's in here is Gunther's dominance and just straight up disrespect. That's what it is. Jey Uso, though, he has the crowd support and momentum. I love when Jey Uso comes out. Let me tell you something. Stop. Time out. If you've never been to a WWE event before in your life, listen to me what I'm going to tell you. And if you've been there before, I want you to type agree. Just type agree in the comment after I say what I'm going to say if you agree with me. When you go to a WWE event, I've been to live events, I've been to Raws, I've been to many PLEs, and I've also been to TNA way back in the day. But when you go to the WWE in this new age, what you're getting is Broadway, you're getting a live stunt show, and you're getting a concert at the same exact time. When you go to a concert sucks out certain emotions from you. When you go to a Broadway show, it sucks out emotions from you and it entertains you visually. But when you go to a concert, the best part is the sing-along. And that's what you get when you go to a WWE show. When everybody's out there, you're singing the song with total strangers. That's the thing about building a community. You're out here with total strangers, and you all have one thing in common. And the thing that you have in common is your favorite wrestler coming out right now, your favorite wrestler winning, your favorite wrestler losing. Those are the things that we all have in common, right? And that's the best part about going to a WWE show. If you've never been to a WWE show, spend the money. If you got the money to sit as close as you can, because you want to be immersed in the whole entire thing. It's better to be in the lake than standing on the edge of the lake. And it's way better to be there in person than to watch it on TV. Watching WWE on TV, it's a thing. But when you're there live, golly, let me tell you, there's nothing like it. Jimmy Uso doing that whole sing-along and involving the crowd with the whole yeet thing, where he comes out through the arena, down the arena, and then does the whole yeet. He chooses one of the kids and they do the whole thing together. Let me tell you something. That's Jey Uso right there making a fan for life. For life, he's making a fan. And the day that Jey Uso turns his back on everybody, it's going to crush everybody's heart. Jey Uso could be the next John Cena. He could be the person that kids are asking for Make-A-Wish Foundation. But here's the thing, though. Jey Uso's got all that momentum. But Gunther already beat him before. Does that fuel Jey Uso? Gunther already beat his brother, too. Not only did Gunther beat Jey Uso, but he beat the man that looked like him. So what does this mean for Jey Uso? What does a win mean for Jey Uso? And what does a win mean for Gunther? Honestly, I think that it means that Gunther is a legit badass. Gunther's one of those guys who's like, you know what, Gunther? You know what, Gunther? I think I left the dishwasher on. I don't have a dishwasher, but I think I left the dishwasher on. I'm gonna go check it. But for Jey Uso, it means that he's finally arrived. Let me predict this match for you. Is this going to be a match of the night? Yeah. This is going to be definitely one of the matches of night one. It's going to be the one that everybody's going to be on the edge of their seat. And this is a match here that is going to bring everybody to the ebbs and the flows. Does Jey Uso finally get his main event moment? Well, he's not the main event. Here's my issue with that whole entire match. Jey Uso's not going to win that match. I'm sorry. I told you I was going to break your heart, but I'm going to love you and bring you back. Just listen. Just listen. Got a comment. AB says that Jay's going to be the Sami Zayn from last year, I think. Is he? I like that. And Ace says, I low-key want Jey Uso to win now. Well, you know what? I'm breaking your heart, brother. Thank you so much, guys, for the comments. Or AB. AB could be a woman. I'm not sure. So let me not say guys, but thank you so much, everyone, for your comment. Don't want to offend anybody. Jey Uso's not going to win. The reason why I don't think that Jey Uso's going to win is he's not the main event. Imagine, and I've been saying this for months and my hands are sweating because I'm getting so excited. Imagine the optics of going off night one with the fireworks and Jey Uso and everybody in the arena doing the yeet. Jey Uso's son is there with him. And then Jey Uso runs into the audience because he's a man of the people and he's doing the whole entire yeet thing. Right? The whole entire yeet thing. And that goes off, and every time you watch WWE, the thing where Triple H goes, then, now, and forever. And it ends with a yeet, and you see everybody in there doing it. It's like a live video, whatever. That is going to be a moment that is going to go down in WWE history forever, but we're not getting it. Okay, now let me love you now. Let me love you. Okay, no, we need Jey Uso to get the win, to get the W. That's what Ace says. And AB says, I'm a brother. Don't worry, bro. All right, my bad, bro. My bad. Thank you guys for your comment. I fixed that. Thank you guys for your comment. Look, I'm respectful of everybody. Let me tell you how this is going to go down. Gunther has to beat the brakes off of Jey Uso at WrestleMania Night 1. Beat the brakes off of him, rip his arms off and beat him with his arms, and then Jimmy Uso's going to go. No, you know what? Jimmy Uso shouldn't come out. Jey Uso should do this on his own and get beat. And then Gunther's going to put his foot on him, put the belt on, put his hands behind his waist. But every championship match has a rematch clause. Jey Uso's going to use his rematch clause for the main event on Monday Night Raw. Remember, oh my God, I'm getting the goosebumps again. Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania is just as big as WrestleMania. And listen to me. Let me tell you how this is going to win, how this is going to work. Jey Uso is going to come out and challenge him. He's going to be beat up. He's going to be battered. He's going to barely win, but at the end, he's going to win. Gunther is going to be left laying in the ring, and the entire arena is going to be doing the yeet. Right? Pat McAfee and everybody's going to be standing on the table doing the yeet in the air while Gunther is in the ring on his back beat and Jey Uso is amongst the people. That is when Jey Uso gets his defining moment. Everybody's going to be upset WrestleMania moment, WrestleMania Night 1 when Jey Uso loses. It's going to be, Jey Uso losing is going to be the biggest story coming out of WrestleMania Night 1. Listen to me when I'm telling you this. If Jey Uso loses, it's going to be the biggest story coming out of Night 1. But Jey Uso winning on Monday Night Raw is going to be the biggest story coming out of WrestleMania weekend. I'm giving myself a hand clap. All right, we got a message. All right, AB's putting some holes in this, and I'm going to fill them holes up. I see you. And I hear you. Let me read that message for everybody. AB says, Ain't the rematch clause A dead concept at this point, and B, only if you lose the championship? Look, you're 100% right. I'm going to give you a hand clap. You're 100% right. You're not wrong. But the thing that WWE is doing right now, right in front of our eyes, is they're rewriting the rules. It could have, what if it was already in the contract that Jey Uso and Gunther signed, that the loser gets a rematch, but you know what? People usually just don't, you get that rematch clause. I don't know. You have to watch. Because if WWE comes out and says, yep, it was in the contract that they signed, that the winner, no matter who's the loser, gets one rematch in a year, and Jey Uso's like, you know what, I want that tonight, you're going to believe it. You can't deny it. It's in a contract. That's just what I think. Look, I asked you earlier when we were live, when we first started, we're not going to pretend about that first part. If you missed that first part, let me tell you, you didn't miss nothing, because I'm going to cut it off and all you're going to see is the show start. So if you know, you know. All I say is, kids, make sure your Ethernet cable doesn't fall out of the back of your computer when you start. But I asked you in the beginning, are you excited for WrestleMania 41 the whole way? 80% of people said yes, and 20% of people said no. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't excited about WrestleMania Night 1. But when I sat here and I started putting together everything and I said, let me pick the 4 biggest matches that everybody's going to talk about. That's when I started feeling the excitement. There are other matches taking place WrestleMania weekend. Look, let me just talk about those real quick. I'm not going to beat those to death because I don't think anybody really cares about those, right? Let's see. I don't think they have it set up yet for Night 1. Yeah. So Night 1, the War Raiders versus the New Day. Yeah, okay, cool. You'll watch it. It's something to watch. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Yeah, you'll watch it. It's something to watch. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. That's going to be a match that people are going to look at, but the implications for that match are not going to spill over until the next night, and I'm going to be talking to you about that later on in the week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, because next time when we come back, we got a whole entire Night 2, which is taking place, and we're going to be taking a look at that. But yeah, I'm seriously excited for WrestleMania. And like, I don't watch the Super Bowl, I don't watch the NBA. Don't get it wrong, I'll go to watch a game in person for the food. Right, I wasn't built like this because of my good looks, but definitely 100%. I'm so excited for WrestleMania, and I hope that you are too. Drop your predictions for Night 1 in the comments. Thank you so much to everybody that participated in the chat. Thank you so much to everybody that hung on. If you missed a minute, if you missed a moment, go back and watch from the beginning. But yeah, there's a little technical difficulty in the beginning, so skip past that part. But if you're watching this once I edit the whole entire thing later on in the day, you probably won't even see that part, so you don't even know what I'm talking about. So if you missed it live, you missed it live. But I'm Tristan Law. This is the Tristan Law Show. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you like what I did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell somebody it's WrestleMania weekend. Tell a friend. Get somebody involved. Hold on. Pro wrestling is changing. It's changed. And there are a lot of people that fell out of love with pro wrestling, and they're lost. They don't enjoy pro wrestling. Find somebody who used to be a wrestling fan or is not a pro wrestling fan and get them engaged. Have them watch the pre-show. WrestleMania starts at 7 p.m. But all the pre-show stuff, I heard that starts at 4 p.m. So maybe you can get them watching some of that, get them invested, and you know what? Maybe you'll have a new fan. So if you got a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a best friend, a mother, a father, or a neighbor who doesn't like pro wrestling, utilize this weekend to go ahead and get them involved into the thing that we love. Thank you so much for joining me. This is the Tristan Law Show. I'm Tristan Law. If you like what I did, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll be back later on this week for WrestleMania Night 2. We're going to break that one down. Don't forget, Wednesday at 6 p.m., new content is the Pro Wrestling Scorecard. It's a new series that's going to be coming out. Be sure to check that out. I'm Tristan Law. Thanks so much for joining me. This is the Tristan Law Show, and I'll see you next time.